I guess we're back from break. So we're trying to get into Snute versus Botvinnik for the last game in this group, or the last games in this group, I guess.
Yeah, correct.
I did whisper Snute, but I don't have an invite. No,
yeah. By the way, that thing we were talking about, it doesn't.
It's not working.
Just resets to you.
Interesting. Okay, well, I did get an invite. Let's get into it.
Cool.
We'll figure it out after them, by the way, the stuff we talked about during the break. But anyways, we are back from said break, and Botvinnik versus Snute will be the decider match in this best of 3. So it's tough. I really like Botvinnik because he was doing some really cool stuff in the past, and I guess we'll touch base up on that in the series. But at the same time, Snute is like, Snoot's a household name in Europe, man. He's got to make it through. We've already got Showtime, Mana, like a bunch of really good players out.
Right, right. You know, who did Botvinnik just take out to manage to get here? So he lost to Drogo, or no, he lost to Snute once before. So this is a rematch, first of all. And then he won against Night End to get to the decider match. So I don't know, Night End's also not like, you know, super scary name for me. Even though Snute didn't look his strongest by far that last series, I still would put him above Botvinnik, who I don't even when he was like peaking, right? He was actually like getting on our radar. I don't think he could defeat Snute.
All right, well, folks, we're getting into game number 1. I like that. We had to wait forever for the other series to start, but him and Botvinnik are just like boom. Like, we're barely out of the last game and they're already ready to go, right? Game number 1. Spotting at the top left side, we got the red Zerg player. It's Team Liquid's Snute.
In the bottom right as the blue Terran, it's Botvinnik. Oh, I feel like you said like home, like Europe hero or something. And then I was like, oh, but Botvinnik's like literally from Spain. So he's the hometown hero in this scenario.
I don't think I said hometown hero.
He said like European hero or something like that.
Oh, I was talking about like Snoot's like a brand name, like a household name. Like
yeah.
He's the European you gotta have in that round of 8. But at the same time, you're right. Like Botvinnik may be a little bit more casual now than he was in the past, but being the actual like countryman hero here, Spain and Valencia, I guess there's like a little bit riding on this for him. It'd be cool to see.
It would be awesome for it to, you know, happen. Anytime there's a hometown hero, the cheers are like, you know, 10 times as loud and whatnot. And Vortex, unfortunately, has already been knocked out. Bly got first in his group. Vortex got last.
Yeah, Bly had a pretty reasonable group. I'm not going to go and say it was the easiest because I have to measure the rest of the ones to make that opinion. But just objectively, Bly had an easy group. And I feel like I'm not surprised he got out in first place.
Yeah. As well as Z as well. 4 Zergs in that group, knocking them out quick.
Line them up, knock them down. Time for some Lingban all in.
I feel like they on purpose planned this, to be honest. There's another group that's like 3 Zerg. No. Where did I end up with? Okay, so Euthermal is so far the only... No, Optus Euthermal have made it out. They're the only Terrans that are for sure out now. Daishi we're waiting on. Arctur, who I didn't recognize that name. Just doing kind of okay.
When Zombie Group says out, by the way, guys, she means like through the group. Like they're safe, not that they're out of the tournament.
Yeah. It's both ways.
English is so cool, man.
It's a good point. It really is. It's the best language in the world. Everyone uses it. Anyways, so Botvinnik is having, hometown hero riding on his shoulders, as well as a little bit of the Terran pride. We still have all the qualified players to show up in Group Stage 3 to be, I guess, seeded at a later time. That's supposed to start in an hour, which really wouldn't be that bad of a timing, but I think that the main stage would have to delay something, right? They only have done 2 matches so far.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So,
we'll shoot, I hope they weren't like, banking on this one, for example.
Nah, I'm pretty sure they have one set up and they let round of 3 go. So, okay, main stage doing 3 games per group. Probably holding on more for Group Stage 3.
Yeah, and Group Stage 3, again, for those who haven't been here the whole cast, haven't heard us talk about it yet, that's where like a lot of the really, really big name players are seated. That's where the players who are qualified are seated. So, you know that Scarlett and Neve and many others are playing, and you're like, well, wait, we haven't seen them in the groups. Where have they been? And it's because they've been just waiting patiently for their opponents this whole time.
Yeah, probably grabbing lunch or dinner, whatever time it is. Oh, Helene's looking for some barbecue. Almost sneak out in time to get another shot. End up getting 2 drones.
Not the best trade, to be honest.
No.
And pretty solid defense out of Snute, too.
I like the almost citizen's arrest. Like the aliens greased themselves up.
At that point, you're just like a civilian throwing a Molotov.
Jesus. Yeah. Banshee following this up, along with Stim. Oh, mech shenanigans. This guy just was, by the way, like I guess we mentioned, like we cast him, he was looking pretty solid, and then he just stopped playing. Yeah, he was just becoming literally a solid Terran, like not particularly cheesy, not a weird play style like mech or battle cruisers. No, he just was looking solid, working on his macro and his micro every time we saw him, and then he just decided to retire. Not to like say that he made a bad decision or anything. It just, you know.
Maybe he did. Maybe he was on the path to be a millionaire. He was gonna be the one that saved StarCraft, but he left, so now it won't ever be saved.
Well, now he's back from outer space.
Came here to find you with that sad look upon your face.
I'm glad you even remembered the lyrics.
Spent so many nights wondering how you did me wrong. But I grew strong. I learned how to get along, and now you're back from outer space.
I love the clapping, by the way. They didn't add very much.
You ever see the replacements?
Of course.
Yeah, channeling my inner Keanu Reeves right now. 13 drones fired up for that follow-up attack was so much better than the initial one. The Banshee, of course, helping a little bit, but at the same time, Snute handling this pretty well. I think that a lot of Zerg players would lose even more than those 13. Like, 13's a lot, so it doesn't seem like worth complimenting, but I think it is.
Yeah, I made up for the earlier, like, non-damage done. But still, worthwhile overall as an opener. It's a little hard to say. 17 seems like an impressive number, but I mean, it was over the course of a... I guess not really 2 attacks. It was mostly that one, but... more so, like, will Botvinnik be able to capitalize on it?
Someone's coming in stream asking why is the viewership so low. Dog, StarCraft's got like 10k viewers. I think having 1,000 something, what do we hear? 1,700 is phenomenal, all things considered. But you know, maybe that's just me.
I don't know.
It's okay, chat's dead though because they're all bots. Yeah. Don't any of you type a single fucking thing to confirm otherwise.
One of them is a bot, and it's called GatherBot.
And there's a BaseTradeTV bot, so I mean that's 2. That's basically everybody.
Okay, but I feel like the GatherBot is going to cannibalize the BaseTradeTV bot. People are already less caring about the Partoofs. Partoofs.
Part what now?
Who cares? Exactly. It's all about the Makarovs. Well, I was talking about how I'm not sure that Botvinnik will be able to capitalize on damage done, because 17 drones looks impressive overall, but I'm going to say, like, again, there's time to recover for Snute, and it's also Snute who has historically taken damage in the early game and still been able to defend well enough later on to still have 70 drones. Huge army, no problem. So I watched these 2 medevacs come in, and I'm not really that scared for Snute. His army is out of position, granted, but it's usually not too much damage. The response is very quick.
Snute's actually normally a guy that has an abnormally high amount of queens, like to the point where we're scoffing.
Right.
I'm surprised that wasn't here, but I guess he has kind of sort of congregated them down below to look for the Banshees. Yeah, 7 isn't too high for him. But I guess also important to note here, not a Hydra stand out on after that layer. Snute is playing very old school style, Ling, Bane, Ling, Muta. Much faster upgrades, just off the builds that they chose to do. Although immediately into an infestation pit. I don't think you see this too often off the back of Muta's
It usually does revolve around mutas until more of the 15, 16 number. You know, a couple fights happen, and then you think you can add on the infestation pit. Now, this is just immediately after the mutas are made. In fact, he used the bank usually C for mutas to help make that infestation pit. As well as 13 banelings. Botvinnik's about ready to go for this push, and it is up, you know, he's up 10 army supply, but with worse upgrades.
Shaving off a Mutalisk. It's a lot of banelings, though. Widowmines aren't going to get a chance to burrow.
No, that's disastrous for any Terran push. They're all grouped up. The banelings do they can take them on, and this is going to be a cleanup. It looks like he has to be careful. His unit counts not really that high, but the lings are doing the job.
This still did well enough. It's also quelled the army supply quite a bit. So this gives Snute that ability to recover, that time to come back and be like, look, I'm bigger and better than you are, and you have even less than you did before.
Yeah. Snute's absolutely going to get away with this hive then. Botvinnik can't apply any pressure there. He already added on a 4th, so maybe he realized that too. And he's like, okay, now I'm just going to play like a bit longer of a game. But Snute adds on a couple more mutas. Yeah, he actually had trouble killing medevacs that were free for the taking because there's only 5 of them. Cancels the command center. This is without banelings, so I don't think he can stick around for very long.
No, but as he retreats up at the top of the ramp, he may just make said banelings. Leads out a couple more lings on the way.
Yeah. Oh, Botvinnik, he has, I guess, another attack in mind. I don't know if he knows about the hive timing. Check right quick. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't hear any scans go down or any scout go through, so he has no idea the hive's already done. As I was saying, I think in a lot of games, after that attack is when muta players put the infestation pit down, so that might be what Botvinnik's expecting.
Well, thank goodness he didn't take the base down here yet, but that gold base now in danger, and Snute knows it too, so the lings run in, get that surround. Oh, but the Widowmine's gonna get some good shots, I think.
Well, I think Snute was hoping that they would friendly fire, but Snute didn't even make any banelings to defend. Okay, he did, but he didn't use any banelings to defend. That feels like a big sign of confidence from the Zerg player.
It is.
Always 3-3.
It's very expensive to make a lot of banelings. 20, not so much.
He puts a lot of gas first and foremost into upgrades, which are even a little bit ahead of Botvinnik's 3-3. Very rare to see that in this matchup.
The muted target fire is so sexy for this, by the way. Not enough on the ground to let him keep fighting this out, but that was so cool to watch out of Snute.
Even if he has to evacuate this base, it's almost already mined out. So that might be preferable. Seems he's lost a bit of momentum.
Yeah, it's actually kind of bad. He's, of course, made these banelings, and Botvinnik's going to be expecting around 2 or 3 as you normally do, but really it is just 1 round of banelings. Lings coming in here, too.
Yeah. No more Widow Mines, but I guess Snute wouldn't know that. Sizable army. Snute has ultras on the way, though, and as I was saying, they're going to be fully upgraded. 3-3 with chitinous plating against Botvinnik's just barely +3 attack. Botvinnik has also gotten to a gold base. So his production is still going strong. So turn into a planetary, but he doesn't really have an answer against the ultras other than hoping that Focus Fire can do the job.
He's assessing the water to see if they can cut off the reinforcement point. Not going to happen. Well, these might be able to like come in from the side and catch Botvinnik a little off guard. There's only so much Mutalisks can do, period, and Glaive Worm's just not that good.
Oh, just getting a assessment, I suppose, of the economy of Snutes. He was pretty close to breaking the gold base, but yeah, fish should have already been down, and it certainly was. Snute also taking the middle base might also expand to the bottom left, depending on how Botvinnik decides to move his push. Still over to the left, though, Snute takes the opportunity to go to the right and set up a huge counterattack. Botvinnik does not have a lot of army back at home since he's maxed out. He's taking on ultras that are alone and a couple of transfuses, so he doesn't want to give those away. Just add on a couple banelings. That's much more difficult to take on. There we go. time to go for it.
This army is so heavily stimmed, though. Like, seriously, one swipe of the Kaiser Blade and
Oh.
chunks of Marines go flying. Bodies hit the floor.
It looks like this is going to be game. He is focus firing the Ultras. The Bane's a bit late to the party, but his natural command center went down while this all went on, and the counterattack came back to deal with it. Didn't even all die.
Yeah. That's going to be it for Botvinnik's game 1. Last medevac goes down. Nothing he can do at this point is going to matter. I mean, he still has drops and he still has units, so maybe he thinks he can still fight, but I know it's tap out time.
Yeah, I'm surprised after such a fight like that, he doesn't just immediately tap out. Hoping, praying. 3 bases is enough. Really, 2 bases.
Oh, he's going to catch that SCV transfer. Not that it matters, because these other lings are still going ham. Finally do knock down the bunker. Good thing they got the +3 weapons. That would not have happened.
Yeah. Not the best lings possible with the Judo Glands only finishing up. Or starting, rather, but they will be.
I'm a little bit worried because Snoot's starting to throw into a bad position, but he's still so far ahead. There's just no way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, certainly against Ultras, especially in Heart of the Swarm when they were still kind of bad, you're just like, okay, all I have to do is run into like 6 supply depots and derp out, then I'm back in this game. But it's not just the Ultras here. It's, in fact, more so about the Lings and the Mutas, since they're so well upgraded.
Yeah, these have, yeah, full on 3-3.
And +2 on the Mutas.
Oh, he murderizes everything that's left. GG finally gets called, and Snute will take game number 1 in this best of 3 finals match.
Alright. Botvinnik a little hesitant to go out. It is the loser's match. Decider match, I should say. Point is, someone gets to go home, or I guess just walk around the venue. Whatever you do when you've lost after this series.
Well, it was very quick to make a Bizzle Reef, so I wonder if that was his pick and he just already knew what was coming.
I've been doing vetoes, so. No, I got my Tyrannosaurus Rex stolen. It's the one cool thing I have, even though it does nothing.
Gold sad one or whatever?
No, I had a sad kitten and a gold time. Different things, Rifkin.
My bad, Zombie Grub. Why I spent mystery on?
Yeah, you did. Mastery. Alright, here's the countdown.
Alright, swapping in a game.
Go ahead.
I'm happy Snute won. I'm also sad Botvinnik lost.
Well, yeah, I think Botvinnik coming back to be the Spanish hero and just have an awesome comeback at a perfect tournament would be quite the story. But at the consequence of losing Snute, no, I'm sorry. No.
No. Well, top left side of the map, he's up 1-0. Let's see if he can ride this through to victory, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Red Zerg Snute.
In the bottom right as the blue Terran, it is Botvinnik. So I listened to the cast a little bit, the mainstream cast that is. It's a tiny little bit when I can. And so we know this problem, having cast that time at DreamHack Austin the first year, that the way that they set up this stage, I'll pull first from Snute, is that for the analysts at the desk, they have a huge TV screen, but it's like, 6 feet back or something. So most people can see what's going on okay, but if you have poor eyesight, you're going to have trouble telling if that's 6 mutas +2, +3, Apparently, I think it's even worse for Valencia. I just watched them for like a minute. All of the analysts, the desk host and the analysts, just kind of what's the word? Not glare. Have to squint their eyes. There we go. Squint their eyes at the monitor to see what was going on. I'm like, that doesn't seem like it was very well planned, man.
Yeah, I can totally
look very good.
I can see something like that being a bit of an oversight, though, because you just kind of assume, oh, TV's a TV. Everyone can see what's on it.
Yeah, just like make sure that people have plenty of room to, you know, walk around here for the production. And the casters are like, that might be a Marine? Like, I don't know.
It's a
Oh,
blue
just a little
blur.
fun.
Must be Sonic the
Yes.
Hedgehog.
Gotta go fast. So,
Blue
funny
streak.
anecdote.
Speeds
As-
by.
Of course, we had a still regular macro opener, even though Snute did go for a pool first, which is the Lings running across the map right now. There was no 3 racks or anything much more interesting.
No, which is still, even for me, a little bit odd. As 3 Racks Reaper, just even as the opening, forget like the all-in, right? Just as the opening, go to 9 Reapers, transition out Korean style. Like, it still works pretty well in the game as is right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think so. Oh, Botvinnik has an idea of where the Lings should be. Went back, checked, then realized he didn't need to, sent the Reaper back. Lings kind of feel very useless.
Yeah, well, they kind of are. Sorry, tough
Yes.
love.
In this case, they really are. I'm guessing the Zerg gets a lot of tough love. Well, no, never mind. All the races get tough love. None of these races has a very supportive society, I think. It's mostly military and, you know, hardcore
Religious.
dictatorships and religion. Yeah. There's no happy unicorns and rainbows in any of these races.
Well, it's like many happy unicorns or rainbows here. Just red.
He's last time they got stuck with the drones around. This time having a little bit more freedom. It's 5 drones.
Not bad.
More worth than last time. The
Hey.
real kicker was the follow-up, though. What?
I gotta put my camera on you for a sec. I gotta be real quick. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Right, so last game, it was 2 drones, but then he lost like 16 more to the Banshee Hellion follow-up beyond that. So I think Snute, probably remembering that, you know, says, okay, I lost 5 drones, but if my follow-up is better, then I'm still in an obviously very good position because he won that game, I want to say like even fairly easily. Botvinnik was able to have some good macro, so that weird good macro, and a decent, you know, pace of the game, but it really just was like once he was denied that first push, it was downhill from there. So I don't think Snute's too peeved about losing 5 drones, and he is going to see that it's Banshees. He already saw, in fact, something got in there. So the Spore Crawlers are on the way. Queens will try and be in the best position possible. Already starting to spread that creep. My question for this game is, does Snute go for Mutaling Bling again? With everyone going for Ling, Baneling, Hydra, I thought that Snute would be one of those guys totally, you know, on top of it. Ready to change up the style, ready to go for it. Banshee initially denied, does not have Cloak. You know, Botvinnik did fall behind quite a bit on the upgrades. In the last game, went for 2 in Cloak. So this time, his engineering base seemed to be timing up well with 1-1. And we saw this from Stefano. This could still, you know, not just be for roaches, but more importantly for those Hydras. It is roaches. Okay. So this is what I was expecting from Stefano, and then he changed things up. But this is, you know, totally something that we can expect from Snute. Snute being obviously can do both, Mutaling Bling and roaches, but a lot of time was going for more roaches than the other style. To see it again on Abyssal Reef, not very surprising at all. Question beyond that would be how fast is the Hive, if there even is a really fast one. Signon, Roach, Ravager, Fungal works out perfectly fine for this guy right here. But for Botvinnik, sends his 3rd base over before an orbital. A little unorthodox, but is now making one. Producing, lots of production, going for Widow Mines. After all, last game he did go for, or he was up against Mutaling Bling. Widow Mine's not the best thing to have against a growing roach count. If you absolutely 100% know they're going for roaches, starting that tank count nice and early, and even going for a fast double factory has been kind of in style lately. Botvinnik's not going to get that opportunity. Snute's with this layer, roach speed. Start patrolling the map, but he's not typically a very aggressive Roach Ravager player. Sometimes Nerchio will look for the, see blood in the water and go for the kill, but, I was gonna say, more often Infestation Pit. Botvinnik's gonna have an attack before those fungals are ready, and this will be his first indication that it is roaches, which is not the greatest. Hellbats, if it was Vito Ling Bling, or at this point Ling Baneling, obviously. I think it's a little bit early. Hellbats would be very useful. The armory type done, never mind. Botvinnik messing up the armory timing not only, makes these Hellblings look even more useless than they would be, but also means that his upgrades have fallen behind yet again. That kind of sucks. They were even for a point. Wondermind's taken out before they can get any shots, just picks up his medevacs and moves on to clearing up some other creep. Changing over his composition, I'm guessing. A couple more Marauders. Ooh, bit of a lag bump right there. I don't know. We had so much bio. I wasn't imagining it. Good on him for realizing he was lagging and just leaving the game. Very, very possible and even likely the players did not feel that. I think 4 years ago, the players felt everything, every little tiny hiccup. But something changed in Legacy of the Void. I don't know what technical mumbo jumbo they said, but they said some things. And apparently it actually has to be quite severe for the players to feel it. We have a Greater Spire in mind with a Hive and Spire. Start up at the same time. 2-2, as I said, now way ahead of Botvinnik, who just had poor timing on his armory. Quadruple drops to the left side. Well, these drops hopefully take the army out of the equation. Okay, well, the quadruple drops split into double drops, so double, double, double. We don't have any tanks from Botvinnik, but he did add on a lot more tech labs. And still producing Widowmines, little supply blocks right now. I mean, I guess it's his prerogative, but I don't think Widowmines are good. There's a couple of rare times when, you don't know that they are going roaches, and you have, 6 Widowmines, and they get a couple of shots off. And that's all well and good, but I think that time is pretty rare. Especially once they realize, hey, I should be careful of Widowmines. Even with my roaches. Spawning pool goes down, but that's not something that Snute really was caring too much about. Snipes the medevac, got the other 2 over here, this one over here. Only willing to clean up some creep. Yeah, there's no need for queens. He's got enough. There's no need for, I don't know. I don't think there's any need for a spawning pool at all. He isn't making links. So we have Corruptors already on the way, and 3-3 now so far ahead of Botvinnik's own upgrades, and Snute is just going to look to dominate this game with a heavier supply of units as well as just superior tech. Botvinnik will not have a response to the Broodlords. He doesn't even have a 4th base. He's really not looking to play a super long game. Not a very, macroed one anyway. Widowmines are getting some surprisingly good shots, no Overseers, so a lot of these roaches did get kind of weak. A big surround from Botvinnik, too, is going to try and reduce the effectiveness of the corrosive biofungal combination. And it's really not going so badly. But there finally are the fungals on the right side. That's really comboed with corrosive bios means that Botvinnik takes a better fight than I think could have happened. But still down in supply. Snute has a big bank. He already has made those Corruptors, so just turning them into Broodlords probably soon. He shows the Corruptors just to take out the medevacs. There aren't as many Marines after all. He uses a lot more of his bank to make 26 more roaches. And there are the Broodlords. 6 of them. Not too bad of a number. If Botvinnik was already preparing for this with a 4th base and triple starport, double starport, whatever, a couple of Vikings, this is dangerous, right? Because it's all of the Corruptors. No queens on support on the front lines, only a handful of infestors. But Botvinnik has no response. So 6 Broodlords is a perfectly fine number. No Corruptors is fine too. Kiting to the best visibility against Mass. Roach thinking he has a shot here. After all, Bio with upgrades does do pretty well. It's just not big enough of a number. And he's losing out on upgrades anyway. 3-3 about the finish here. Again, he has not scouted. Oh, he did scout the Greatest Spire with that drop, but he still has no response to the Broodlords. So they're coming in. Breaking on the rocks. No tanks to be fearful of. No Vikings to be fearful of. to go for a base trade is Botvinnik's last hope.
Base trade hype. Sorry about that. I'll explain after. I see I sat down to some Brood Lords though, which are awesome.
Yeah, he kind of sat down to a 1 game.
Yeah. 200 supplies looking pretty freaking good. That fungal growth even better. Oh gosh. There's no corrosive biles. The fungal growths alone are going to kill the Metavax at this rate. Not that there's anything left inside of him. GG. Snute takes the series and he advances on to Group 3. Good on him. So you ever like habitually, you're just casting or you're distracted doing something like scratch your leg or like whatever, got like a scab,
Nope,
pick at it.
Nope.
I'm sorry, that took so long because I had to go find band-aids. I didn't know where they were. But yeah, congratulations to Snute. Yay! So they'll advance on to Group 3, and then I don't know because we're behind and things got delayed. How long do we have to wait before the actual Group Stage 3 begins?
Well, they're supposed to start in 36 minutes as a planned estimate. I don't know though.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the lineup here. Here, I'm gonna put this on screen. These obviously aren't all finished because not all the players are done in this group yet, but still like, Claudia Laser, Jon Snow, Lambo. I feel bad. This is like the BaseTradeTV house here in Group 6. Masa, Nerdshell, Euthermal is a pretty sick Group 3. Neben sort of, TLO Group 1. Oh, good luck. Hearthstone, Optimus, Probe, and True. Cham, Drogo, Scarlet, Soul. Oh, there's some really good groups and interesting matchups coming up, guys. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But it's still all best of 3s. We're gonna go to our break now. We'll see you guys in a little bit. I gotta mute though, so I'm gonna talk to Zombie about some stuff, and we'll be back. Be back soon.